If a doctor botched your care, you could take the doctor to court. But to risk your life for our country, you give up the option to fight if something goes wrong. Good evening, I'm Kelly Swoop. ABC 2 News investigator Josie Sturman talked to a Baltimore family who's trying to understand what happened to the soldier they loved and lost because they don't believe he got the care he needed. Josie?
Kelly, Sergeant John Burner was a soldier's soldier. He never backed down from a challenge. And during his third tour in Iraq, a man who never complained sought medical attention 4 times, but his family says didn't get the treatment he needed. Now that family is fighting. They want explanations on why someone who fought for his country could be let down by the nation he loved. When it comes to defending our country, soldiers know risk comes with the job. They sign on, prepared to die in battle, but never expecting their families may have to fight too.
They always say the Army takes care of their own, but they didn't. In this case, they didn't.
Sergeant John Burner thought the Army was the ticket to a better life. He signed on right out of high school and served 4 tours over the course of 15 years. It's dangerous work that would make any wife worry. But Verena Burner says it was a video conversation with her husband that sent fear through her body.
He looked so white and he was shivering. He was covered up all the way to his neck.
The strong father, husband, and soldier looked like a broken man just days after arriving in Iraq. It was their routine to talk over a webcam, but this September 16th conversation would be their last.
I opened the door, they came in and just basically told me, we're sorry, we have some bad news for you. And
her 32-year-old husband was dead. Not a casualty of war, but the victim of a common medical condition, a pulmonary embolism.
If he would have gotten the treatment that he needed, he would have survived.
For Burner's family, the question started as they pieced together his final days. He didn't feel right, was short of breath, so he went for help. Members of the Army medical staff saw Burner 4 times. During video chats, Burner told his family he was repeatedly sent away with nothing more than antibiotics and an inhaler, but he got worse. Burner's dad says he was finally scheduled for testing, but he died 1 day before that exam, collapsing as his wife waited on the other end of the computer.
He said he would be right back. He would be going to the bathroom, be right back, and he never got back. Just kept waiting for him, but he didn't come back.
This family has John's medals. Now they're waiting for his medical file, wondering whether his death could have been prevented. Experts say embolisms can be treated if caught early. In many cases, all a patient needs is anti-clotting medication.
It definitely is abandonment. I mean, he was totally abandoned and left to die alone pretty much.
Unlike a civilian, Sergeant Burner didn't have a choice in his care. His time overseas limited his options, and ultimately his family may be limited as well.
I think most service members understand that there is a different system for how they deal with their boss, essentially. And that's really what this is about, is the Ferries Bar is about not suing your boss.
The Ferries Doctrine prevents service members and their families from suing the military for medical malpractice. Military law expert Michael Navarre says that even if Burner's family had a case and wanted to pursue it, they'd have to win countless battles, waging war in the courtroom.
What they ultimately decide at the end of the day is Supreme Court precedent, which is this Ferries case, is too strong and they can't overcome it. And so they therefore, usually express their regrets and say there's really nothing we can do.
The military expressed their regrets at Burner's funeral in Arlington. The Secretary of the Army personally greeted each member of the sergeant's family, a handshake and a folded flag to start the healing. But for this Army widow, it's the looming battle in her husband's honor that brings some comfort to her grief.
I'm not afraid of them. I'm going as high as I can go until I can't go anymore.
The Army says they can't talk specifically about Sergeant Burner's case because of privacy laws, but they say soldiers undergo health assessments before any deployment and get care if needed. And if those soldiers become sick in transit along the way, they're evacuated to the closest medical facility. A criminal investigation into Burner's death is ongoing. His family has requested his medical file and a formal report, but they don't expect that paperwork until next year. Josie Sturman, ABC 2 News.